This is the fastest way to build a mobile app with Cursor. You can start by building the app from your phone and then share it with Cursor, and then in less than an hour, you can have the app sent to the App Store. In this video, we created an app that lets me and my friends swipe on movies like Tinder in a room, and when we both liked one, we matched. We can immediately share the app with friends, and then we sent the app to the App Store for review in under an hour. We're gonna show you every step of the process. Let's dive in.
So whenever I want to start building a mobile app, I always start in vibe code. So I usually just start by describing my idea in simple language. I want a movie matcher app that allows me and my friends to swipe on the same set of movies. And then when we both find a match, it will show us which movies we match for. I can click start game, then I can enter a room. So like a room is generated with a random 4-digit PIN. I can put in that PIN and my friends would put that in as well. And then we both enter the same room and we swipe on the same movies. Start by just building out the front end for this. Don't worry about the back end features. We can just use some mock data for right now. And yeah, then I'll click generate and wait till Vibe Code generates me a great first draft of this product.
Your problem statement is that like when you and friend sit down to try and watch a movie, you spend like way too much time trying to pick a movie.
Yeah, I think everyone's faced this problem. So we can see what the agent is doing right now. It says, I'll build a movie matcher app with a game-like interface where you and friends can swipe on movies and find matches. So it's exploring the existing template and building the movie matcher app with state management, navigation, and the screens that we need. All right, so the app's done now. And let's see how it looks. Cool. So we have movie matcher, the game. Start new game. Ooh.
Okay, so it has the little
It has
pets animation.
swipes, but it's kind of stuck at the bottom.
Just take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It looks pretty good though. Look at that.
No, it does. I think it looks good. It just needs to be centered and bigger.
Yeah. So I'll take a screenshot and I'll add that screenshot here. I'll be like, when I start a room and begin playing the game and the cards load up with the movies for the various movies that I have to swipe on, the swipe animation's great, but the cards show up in like the bottom right corner. I think there's some issue with the spacing, the sizing, or the padding. It should be in the center and it should be large and take up like a large chunk of the screen. So I think, think logically around how you set up that screen and make sure that you logically construct it such that this issue doesn't happen. I've also attached an image for your reference.
Very well put together prompt there. I love it. You've done this a time or two. I think it's really good to include images when, especially with like design changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it can usually figure out what the problem is pretty quickly.
Okay, so
But what was the other feature? So you could hit new game. What was the other button?
join game.
Join. Oh, nice.
So essentially when we get this app to Cursor, we'll set up the backend such that each time you can create these rooms, and then rather than like having a whole system where you add friends and like complicating it, let's just keep rooms. And so
Okay.
you just join a room.
Could you potentially add a feature that you go share and like you can send it to me on text?
Yeah.
Click on it and immediately join the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
We can definitely add that. It's a good idea.
And then I'll download the app. Like you'll be able to send it to me.
So it looks like it figured out the issue and it's trying to fix it right now. Okay, we can see if this made the edit. We can start a new game and cool, the cards are centered now and we can swipe on them while that animation.
Ooh, that looks pretty good actually.
This would have taken me like 2 hours to code out back in the old days.
Wow, kind of a smooth animation the way it flies off and it turns red or green.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I try it?
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, that's kind of nice actually. Okay. All right.
Cool. So maybe we want these like buttons to appear below the card, and then maybe we want there to be some haptics. That could be fun. So we can say, make sure the red cross dislike button and the green heart like button appear below the cards, which have the movie details, and add some haptics when I swipe left and right on the cards. and looks
Amazing.
like cook.
So you want to explain haptics for those who are brand new to vibe coding?
Yeah, so when you make native mobile apps, and if I made this on Lovable or Bolt or any of those other tools, you couldn't add things like haptics, or you can do things easily like camera access, contacts access, calendar access. The good part with building native mobile apps with Cursor and Bytecode is that you can use these native libraries like haptics. So you can make your phone go like buzz, buzz, that
Yeah.
satisfying feeling
Like
that
on
you
the
get.
Chat GPT app, when like it's loading a response, you get
Yeah.
that nice little like vibration
Yeah.
thing, and it makes it feel like almost alive in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. It made the update. Let's check this out. Start new game. Okay, amazing. That looks so good.
Then it looks really good.
Yeah, we can just ship this to Cursor now.
Okay, so we're moving to Cursor. Why are we doing that?
We want to do a few things in Cursor. One, we want to add some assets that is required by Apple to submit our app to the App Store, which is the icon, the splash screen, and things like our website, privacy policy, that kind of stuff. And then two, we want to add backend functionality. So we want to actually, have rooms that are on Firebase. And currently, we need to install packages and do things that are currently not supported with the Vibecode app.
Amazing.
So to do that on Cursor, we can just open the menu here, click connect via SSH, copy this command, open a Cursor window, click connect via SSH. It's the same thing.
Okay, so okay, let's go slow here just because I'm trying to figure out how we're doing this. So on the Vibecode app, when you press share, you press
menu, you
Okay.
can click connect via SSH,
Amazing.
and it opens up this.
And then you just open up any new Cursor window.
Yeah, or windsurf or anything, it's the same for windsurf. So I copy it from the Vibecode app, then I click connect via SSH on Cursor right here. And then I click add new SSH.
Wait, don't you paste it and then you hit add new SSH?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I click add new SSH hosts because we're connecting to a new project. We're going to add a new host. And then it says enter this command. That's example SSH hello at Microsoft. We can see that our SSH command on Vibecode looks very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with SSH. So we can just paste that in and press enter. And then we can just press enter for the first one.
Okay.
And then it says host added. We can click connect. So this will open a new Cursor window. And it says, do you want to continue? The first time you connect to a new project, they'll say this. But it shouldn't after that. Just click continue. And then it says enter a password. Again, we can copy that.
Okay, so the Vibecode app gives you the SSH command, which we've already copied, and it also gives you a password, which we use here.
Yeah, and then we'll paste the password and click enter.
Amazing.
And then it'll take a few seconds. I'll just position my window here. There we go. So at the bottom, it'll say downloading VS Code Server. Wait until this is done. And the loading here stops. So now it's done. Setting it up. And there we go. You'll also know when this clone repository button pops up. But let's start by opening the folder that we want. So when you click open folder, click on workspace.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be the workspace that you're working in. And then click OK.
Okay, so it should be the one on the far right should be workspace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we've opened the workspace, and this is your project's code. Don't worry about these environment variables. They are our personal secret environment variables in the Vibecode app that it doesn't matter if anyone has access to because they're fake. One of the cool things about the Vibecode app is you don't need to put in any of your environment variables.
But once
it will just replace them.
Once you export it to Cursor, then you do have to use your own API keys.
Yeah, but we're not exporting to Cursor right now. We're just creating a two-way connection via SSH. So you don't need to worry about this.
So those aren't the real keys. But the real keys are in the Vibecode app.
The real keys, how that works is a secret.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, when you make a change on Cursor, right? Like if you guys have watched my videos before, when we use Cursor, normally we do localhost. Like you run this locally, and it's usually a web browser. In this case, replace the localhost web browser with the mobile app, except it's real-time sync. So you can make a change on the Vibecode app and it will update on Cursor, make a change on Cursor, and it will update. It'll always stay updated on your phone.
And you don't have to use the Vibecode app. You can, make a build yourself. There are a few advantages though. One is like you don't have to worry about API keys until you're ready to publish to the App Store. And then two, you don't have to keep rebuilding the app. We handle all of that. So your changes are instant. So for example, if I ask this to, let me make this Cloud4 Sonnet. Let's say I want to change the name of the app in the home screen from Movie Matcher to Movie
Buddy.
Movie Buddy. Perfect.
And so now it's just, we're using Cursor and it's making changes. It's thinking about it. It's going to generate some code. And then when you hit apply, it'll be updated.
Yeah. So it depends on your cursor settings. I think the best settings to get set up is make sure you click the settings button. You go indexing in docs and you make sure this code base has been 100% indexed. That's usually really good and looks like mine has. I also have a feature where it like auto saves the apply, but by default you will have to accept all before the changes are saved. Okay, so this is done. Once the changes are done, you can click the menu button and you can click reload.
And now
there we go.
To Movie Buddy. Amazing. That's super cool.
So you didn't have to rebuild your app. You didn't have to run any localhost server. And if we were using AI features, we didn't have to put in any API keys either. But now, so this is a great start. Let's accept all of these changes. Now we want to make sure that we actually fetch movies from an API.
Right. Like right now, the Shawshank Redemption is just placeholder data that the app put there.
Yeah.
What we want to do is we actually want to have access to a database that is up to date, that shows us real movies that are, and then obviously like you can make it better through sorting them through some mechanism or separating them by genre, et cetera, et cetera. But we want these to be real movies, ideally with real placeholder images for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we can go look up free movie database API. And there are a few options. I think the top two are OMDB and TMDB. Based on my research, TMDB gives you the images for the movies and OMDB does not. So we're going to use TMDB. So we can go here, click get an API key. I've already made an account. And so I have an API key, which I'm going to get from here. Okay, so I copied this. Now let me test it out here. So let's try this out. All right, so that did not work.
I want to just toss this whole thing to Cursor and be like, make it better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's honestly the best move right now. We can just toss this whole thing to Cursor and we can tell it, I am using the TMDB API. Here are my credentials. Here is my authorization header. And I'll paste a long one here. There we go. And here is my API key. There we go. And then let me give it some more guides. There, discover. We probably want to use discover. So I'll give it some more links.
Because Cursor can actually browse the internet, and if you give it the specific links that are necessary, you're just basically like increasing the probability that it'll get it correct. Because you could just say, I'm using TMDB.
Yeah, I did say that, and it can browse it, but I know that we want to use the discover option, and so I can just, put that in. And so here is how to use the discover option. So all I did here was I copied the curl request. You can use it for any language, programming language you're using. Curl is like very common. And then at the end, I'll say, I want to replace all the fake data by fetching real movies that are fetched at the start when creating a new room.
Nice. We still have yet to write any code. We've only copied code and I mean, we're only like 5 prompts deep into this.
Yeah, I
On
mean,
the vibe code, this is second one on cursor.
yeah, I mean, the first one on cursor was just changing the name.
Do you think this is going to work out of the box? Or do you think we're going to have to
I
do
think we
some-
gave it a lot of context, so it should work. Okay, it's trying to run this command. I'm going to skip it because we don't need to run anything since we're testing it out on the Vibecode app. So it's done. Now I can reload the app on Vibecode by clicking menu and then the reload button on the top right.
Amazing. And nothing
Cool.
should be different on this page.
And then we start a new game. It's loading the movies. There we go.
No way.
Ballerina.
Wait. So go to 7.1, maybe like the IMDb score. Can
Yeah.
you look that movie up?
There's the exact poster. John
Exact
from the
poster.
creators of John Wick. We
Wait,
can see that.
Scroll over, go back. 7.2
Two.
on IMDb. Okay,
So
so maybe some doesn't matter. That's basically right.
let's check another one. Straw. Okay. Straw. 6.5. This says 8.0. So the data, it seems like the rating is wrong. Okay, it's the average rating given by users on the TMDB platform, not on IMDb.
God.
So it is very different, and that's okay.
I think
so-
we should show more stuff on this card, ideally. Like show the release date, show the title in full.
So maybe we can get rid of this stuff at the top, swipe movies. So it'll just like give us more space.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that a
So-
lot.
Yeah, I mean, we could make this change on Vibecode or we could make it on cursor. My instinct was to go with Vibecode, but let's just do it with cursor.
Yeah, let's do it with cursor. Do you have whisper flow?
Yes, I do. On the screen where I'm swiping movies, can you remove the header that says swipe movies? Just have the part that says room with like the number of the room as sort of the top header part. And then also, can you make the movie card, like bigger? Just make it like taller and make the width also bigger. Because right now I can't see the full movie name. I also can't see the image of the movie fully. So I just want it to be bigger. And then also when I click on the card, not swipe on it, just open like a full details page so I can see the whole movie card in its totality and make it look really nice.
Shouldn't we show more of the data, like the year and?
I mean, we're showing the year 2024.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cool hack. One thing, if you want to check was there anything about like where you could watch the movie, like the streaming platform?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. So I'm just gonna search this up. Watch providers.
Watch providers. That is the most useful feature, actually.
Yeah, so you can hit this API. So we can copy this link. We can copy the curl request. And then we can let's try it for this random movie, Sonic the Hedgehog. Copy the ID, paste it in here, and let's try it. This is what the data looks like. It gives you results. Sorted by country. So that's a lot of data. So let's find the US. Guess I'll just have to scroll.
I forget they're all different depending on what country. That's insane.
That looks like the US, the longest one. So you can watch it on Amazon Video, Apple TV, Google Play Movies, YouTube, Fandango, Microsoft, FlixSing, and
Jeez.
Plex, and Amazon. So that's where you can rent it, and then flat rate or buy. Okay, yeah, I think flat rate is the streaming services.
Okay.
So let's check it. Let's Sonic the Hedgehog 3, or oops, there's a fourth one apparently too. Yeah, watch now, Prime Video.
Amazing.
And that's the first one in the flat rate, which is the streaming services. So I'll copy this response as well, and we'll add that feature next.
Cool. This is coming together. This is like a legit app.
Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, it added the haptics too.
Can I feel it? Oof. Nice. I dig it.
So we can set up the rooms and then we can publish this app on the App Store.
Let's go.
We might not even need authentication because if you just authenticate with rooms, what's the point, right?
Yeah, just create room and then have the text feature. I think
Yeah.
that's key.
Yeah.
Send it to your friend.
Okay. Looks like it's done. So we can reload the app and check it out.
Start new game. Wow.
That
Looks so good. Let's go. That's insane. That's awesome.
Look, that added all these animations as well, and we still have pass like
Let's
KO, the whole poster, 2024, 6.6. This looks great. I think this app is ready to ship.
I think the one thing you may want authentication for would be like if you could like save movies. Like people might want to save like their favorite movies or something.
Yeah.
But like I don't think that's needed for MVP.
Okay, this is kind of annoying. When I swipe, it opens it
Oh yeah.
regardless.
It is annoying.
So, okay, let me accept these changes and I'll be like, this looks great, but now, regardless of if I swipe left or right, it opens the movie details right after I swipe. The movie details should only open when I tap on it, like not when I swipe on it. So make sure that you think hard about how to differentiate between those two.
So funny that we've moved to the era where you have to like where you basically tell AI how to allocate its thinking resources. You're like, think hard about this specific thing. And it actually works.
Think harder actually works.
Yeah.
I have read a lot of code from Anthropic where they say if prompt includes think harder, give more tokens. Think harder is a great prompt hack. You know, I don't know if it came, I think it was like users doing it that made Anthropic put it in.
But you were paying for the thinking tokens, so it's not like it's a hack. I mean, we're still paying for it.
Yeah.
But it does work.
This app looks amazing. Like it just looks perfect.
No, it does look really good.
The swipe gesture is so good. Like I feel like this one usually cursor messes up at.
So what else do we have left? So let's say it fixes this thing, and then we're the next thing you were going to do is the streaming platform.
Yeah.
So streaming platform, and then
the
database.
rooms. Yeah, the database.
And so for the rooms, just to be clear, so for the rooms, we want to be able to do this, right? It's just like Tinder, right? When we both swipe right on a movie, we want it to match.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to create a room. And so Ansh wants to create the feature that allows us to, with one click, basically create a room, and then he can send it to me. I can open the app. We can both swipe, and then if we're both in a room, we can match.
Yeah, exactly. So let me reload this app now. All right. So instead of tapping to show the details, we just added a new button. It's the info button. It's how you can see the details. And then, yeah, the cards look great. Now we want to know which streaming platforms to actually watch these movies in. So I'm going to paste this API that from TMDB. I can copy this link right here.
Do we need to specify which location we want? Maybe we do US or whatever, because isn't there?
Yeah, that's true. So if we look at this data, it gives like the locations, the UG, US, like these are all countries. So I'm gonna paste. First of all, I'm just gonna copy everything, and then even the response, I'll copy that. And then come to the very bottom, and I can be like, hey, above I've given you a API that gives me the providers of the movie, like where can I watch it, like on which streaming services. So for each movie that you show me in the movie card, I want you to show me which providers I can watch them on. So is it Netflix? Is it Amazon Prime? Or there are a bunch of options. But I only want you to show me US streaming services. I don't care about renting or buying. You can maybe show the rent and buy data in the details card. But in the main view, just show me the streaming services.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of everything I would want to know. The streaming service, is it like a good movie, right? We have some rating. It shows the so I can see like if it's an actor that I like. Obviously, if we kept iterating, there's a lot of other things you could add, but I think this is a good first experience. Where would you want it to display the streaming services?
Probably like right here next to the rating, maybe, because there's
Mm.
some space there. So it just finished. Let's see if we got the streaming services.
So now it's loading movies.
So now it's loading movies. It might take a little bit of time to load the streaming services. Oh, so this one
Oh,
doesn't have any like streaming, so it didn't show it like I told it to.
I see.
But it has a rent and buy option, and so it shows me those.
And it shows the logos for them too, which is
and
awesome.
then this one has streaming, so
Oh, let's go.
it shows it to me.
I didn't know it would show the images for each one.
Yeah, that's pretty
great.
cool. So this one doesn't have streaming
Or
rent,
buy
but that's the API, because we know it's working for the other ones, right?
right.
And also, Mission Impossible, didn't this just come out? Like,
This is 2025.
Yeah,
I think it's
this-
out. This is
yeah,
coming
this-
out in the
yeah.
future.
Ballerina, I
It's
think.
probably coming out. It says 2025. Oh, Amazon Video.
Okay, cool. Thunderbolts. These are all super new movies.
Okay. So
But this one, Straw, this is out, Netflix.
okay, amazing.
then,
We
yeah.
need to specify like only movies that are like came out before the current date. I think this app is good as is. I think we should just add the rooms and we should swipe and see if we can map on a movie.
Yeah, let's do it. So now we need to set up Firebase. Now I'm going to build a Firebase project. So to do that, I can just open up Firebase. So I'll just search for Firebase. And
If you've watched our old videos, we used to do this a lot.
go to console. And I can click create new Firebase project. Let's call this movie buddy matcher. You can add this if you want, but it just makes the wait a little bit longer. So I don't like adding it usually. That's provisioning these resources. This should be done. And then on cursor, we can say, now, can you add Firebase to this project? Make sure to add Firebase JS version 10 and make sure to connect the Firebase Firestore database. I also want it such that when I start a new game, that game or the room or whatever is stored in Firebase with all the same movies, and then I can share the pin for that room with a friend of mine. And the friend can enter that same pin and join that room and swipe on the same movies. Before starting the game and playing the game in the room, there should be like a waiting screen where I'm waiting for like my friends to join the room and they can enter the pin to join the room, and that should all live update. And then, yeah, once I'm done, I should be able to look at, the matches that me and my friends had. So what movies did I swipe on positively that my friends also swiped on positively? So these are a lot of changes, but make sure that you think it through and build them throughout the code base.
This is a massive task, honestly.
This is a very, very big task, and we're not done yet. So in Firebase, when you come here, make sure you click on web.
Why did you click web instead of mobile?
So with mobile, you have to make new builds and go through Xcode and all that process. But because
React Native?
we're using React Native, we can use either the mobile version or the web version. It doesn't really matter. It's both
Right.
the same thing. So I can also copy this Firebase config, or you can just copy the whole thing. Doesn't really matter.
Keep those secret, by the way.
Here is my Firebase config. Actually, the Firebase config, you don't really need to keep it secret. Yeah, it should be fine. Like anyone who uses Firebase has their Firebase config like public. You just need to make sure that when you give this app to other people, you add rules to your database so people can't access it. But for now, we're just going to set it up in test mode. So we're going to create a database. Just go with the defaults. So these are the secure rules, right? So make sure if you're launching this to real people, you ask ChatGPT or Claude or Cursor or Vibecode, whatever your favorite AI agent is, like what these rules should be. But for now, we're just gonna start in test mode. That means your data is open by default and enable quick setup. So I'm just gonna start in test mode for now. So I've created this database. So we did two things. We created a web Firebase project and we created a Firestore database. And these are your rules, by the way, the ones that you'd want to change if you ever launch this to production and gave it to real people. But yeah, this is where we are. This is all we need. This is all we need to give. And let's just let Cursor cook.
Okay, so all we need is no authentication needed. That makes sense. We're just creating database. Cool.
All right.
It's loading.
Okay, maybe it wasn't done. Let's try again. We got an error. I am just going to copy this error, paste it back into Cursor. I'm getting this error when I click Start New Game. Please fix. So yeah, I'm not sure why this error is happening, but we can figure it out.
Cool.
This is the hardest part though. It just added like 1,000 lines of code.
That's actually, and that was one prompt, right?
That's one prompt. It took like 20 minutes.
Like it actually took 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it actually took 10 plus minutes to integrate Firebase so that we can create rooms so that we could swipe.
So I just made this change and there's this warning here. We'll dismiss it. So I can show you my prompts. There were a few errors that happened, but I just copy pasted them back in. Nothing crazy. I just copy pasted it back. But there was one change I had to make in the code that's pretty important that the AI couldn't figure out.
And this is the same error that like Kevin and Mohammed ran into yesterday.
This is just an error with Firebase. If you use like Superbase or you use InstantDB or Convex, you probably won't need to do this. But basically, there's these two lines of code that it's given in the documentation by Expo. When you're setting up Firebase, you need to copy these two lines of code and you paste in your metro.config.js file.
Okay. So if you're using Firebase, just make
If you're using Firebase, we'll paste these like docs from Expo. Just give this context to your Cursor or Vibe Code agent when it's setting up Firebase.
So like Cursor just doesn't normally do it.
Cursor, yeah, it just didn't know to search this up. There are a few things to be aware with Firebase. Use version 9 or 10. Use the JS version, and then make sure you paste in these docs from Expo. So that's pretty much it. Cool. And then you shouldn't face any issues. You might face some, but you can just paste them back in like I did. I just said, I think you broke something and pasted an error back in. So now I click start game. It's loading the movie, so it takes a little bit of time.
No way. Room.
Now it has this.
3, 4.
I have the share button, and I can send this to you, Riley.
But you need to share the app with me first, right?
Oh yeah. So I'll send you the room, and then I'll also click this, click publish, click share, and share the app with you as well.
So Ansh just texted it to me. And so what I need to do is with the Vibecode app, I can very easily, like you can share apps with me and I can open them. So I'm going to open up this app right here and it immediately downloads. Okay. I have now a movie.
So let me create the game.
Okay, you create the game.
I guess I have to create a new room. So the pin is 9826. Do you want to join my game?
Join game 9826.
Oh, and actually, this is going to be sick. So maybe let me share this new one with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I share this with you. Now click join game.
Now click join game.
And look at the format.
Hey, let's go from messages. That's crazy. Except I can't do anything. I can't press enter. The keyboard is blocking it.
Oh, okay. I guess
we have to make a change.
We got to make a change. So, let me accept these. In the join game screen, you show fake keyboard and you show real keyboard. Just don't show the real keyboard. We'll just have input from the fake keyboard in that screen. Oh, actually, no. I want to show the real keyboard because then you get the autocomplete.
Yeah.
So in the join game screen, I want to be able to click a done button on my keyboard or like click outside the keyboard to like dismiss the keyboard. Right now, there's no way to dismiss the keyboard.
Yeah.
Also, don't show a fake keyboard there. The real one is good enough. We can use Apple's best feature.
Yeah. That is actually so sick. And so it shared it, and it looks at the most recent message, and it just grabs a code from it or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you format a message with like a code in it, since we're doing 4-digit codes,
Yeah.
6-digit codes, those usually
Wow.
autocomplete.
So as you can see here, he's making changes to the Vibecode app. And since I'm synced with Anj's project, after cursor's done loading, we're both going to hit refresh, and we're both going to have a new app.
Yeah. So cursor's almost done.
We'll wait.
We'll wait until it stops going, and then we both need to hit reload in just a second. So yeah, let's both hit reload. I don't know how yours loaded faster than mine, but
Okay, so you want to start a new game?
yeah, let me start a new game. I mean, you could start one too. So now we have a new pin. Let me share that with you.
Yeah.
But that should autocomplete when you click join
so
game.
Now I'm going to hit join game, tap to enter pin from messages. Now we can dismiss it. Join room.
Cool. So we're in the room, and I can see I'm Smart Wolf and you're Cool Tiger.
Oh, and you have control over the
Yeah, I have control over
I
the
can
game.
start the game.
So why don't you ready up?
So, I can ready up? Oh.
So now instantly it updated on my screen that you're ready.
Wait, whoa. Can I do reverse it? That is so sick.
Yeah.
Ready up. And now oh my God, that's crazy.
So we're ready. And now let's start the game.
Oh, what?
So
wait, what will happen if you swipe left? Okay, so I can just go at my own speed.
You can go at your own speed.
Okay, I don't want to watch that. Nah, I don't really want to watch that.
So let's go at our own speeds and see what we want to watch. Do I want to watch this movie? Nah. Maybe we'll have no. Oh, yes.
Wait, I swiped right on that one. Wait, so Final Destination, let's swipe right on it.
Okay. So I think after you swipe, it takes a couple of seconds
Or maybe it's going to wait until the game's over.
The next one to load.
What if it waits until the game's over to like give us a list of the ones we swiped on?
Well, I can already see that
we
it
can
does.
already see the matches.
Yeah.
Oh, we can see all of our matches.
Yeah. So those are. Yeah, I know we swipe.
So let's just go through the list. We'll just go through, swipe through the 30 because there's gives us 30.
Oh, see, because I'm on the previous one. You have to wait until I get on the same one to start swiping on it.
Oh.
See, it's like kind of like smaller on your screen, but now if we are on the same one, now you're ready to swipe.
Oh, it's like made to be played at the same time.
Yeah, it's made to be played at the same time.
So like,
now you'll be able to swipe because you weren't able to swipe just now, right?
Right. And we can see. So let's swipe right. So I'll swipe right. Now
there
we
we
see
go.
3 matches on the top right.
Yeah.
Wait, so now wait, let me see. So if I try to swipe here, if I'm here, I can't.
Yeah, you can't swipe this one.
Oh.
So now you can swipe.
Amazing.
There you go.
This is cool.
So we're both swiping.
This is insane, actually. This is so cool. Like, what is this? 10 prompts, vibe coding. You know.
Yeah.
Or 11.
10 to 20 prompts.
It looks like we're done with the room. So now you can press the matches.
Now we can see our matches. They automatically open. So we have Final Destinations, which we kind of did ourselves.
Right.
And then, and also ranks it. So if we're multiple people, we could see like everyone's matches.
Oh, we could create a room for like 10
people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay. So back to home. Now we're reset. All right, let's put it on the App Store.
Let's get it. Okay, so this is perfect. I love the changes so far. So I've saved them in Cursor. I'll click on this Git tab, and then I'll click this plus button to save everything. Then I'll click this Generate Commit Message button, which will just generate a commit message for me. Sure, that looks good. And I'll click commit and then push these changes. And now all these changes are synced to Vibecode, to your app. I mean, they're always synced with Vibecode without going through Git, but now with Git, you can make sure that they're saved forever. So yeah, now it's time to get our app on the App Store. So I'm going to close all of these screens and I'm going to open the terminal. The way I can do that is click the terminal button at the top here and click new terminal, or I can click Control and tilde together, which is this like shortcut. But I have the terminal open, and then I think the easiest way to get on the App Store is to run this command called npx test flight, or in our case, bunx test flight. They both do the same thing. You might have npx installed, you might have bunx installed. The way to figure that out is just to run both of them. I have both installed, so I'm just going to use bunx test flight and then press enter. But we probably want to get a home screen, or sorry, an app icon for our home screen, a splash screen icon
Right.
for our app, and then we also probably want to change the name of the app.
Okay.
So right now the app is called Vibecode. So all that data is inside this app.json file. So right now the app is called Vibecode, the slug is Vibecode, the scheme is Vibecode. So what we can do here is we can come here and change this to whatever we want. So we can make this movie buddy, make all of these movie buddies. And yeah, that should be pretty much it. Then we can generate an icon. So we can go to ChatGPT. Can you generate me an iOS app icon? Make it a square with no background and no rounded corners. Make it for an app called Movie Buddy.
And make it a penguin who's has 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so we have the name icon, which is just like a square image with no background.
Yeah.
And then splash screen.
Yeah. So you can just make your splash screen be configured through the icon using Expo. So let me just read through the documentation here. Ideally, we don't need to even worry about a splash screen. You can just sort of use the icon to do it. So yeah, we can see over here that, this is the code. Again, we'll put this in the description below, but I'm just going to copy this, open cursor. So the icons are almost done. Oh, they made 4. Is that a new feature?
Yeah, it is a new feature. It didn't remove the background though.
It did not? I think it did.
What's the red? Does the red mean no background?
I think this is perfect.
Okay, let's use it.
Yeah, which one do you like? They all look kind of the same.
They do look the same.
This one looks good.
Just use the one on the bottom right. I think we ship it.
Yeah, cool. Cool. So I will just drag that. And so all I got to do is create a new folder here. So click this button, new folder, call it assets. And then I will just drag this into the assets, or I guess I have to drag it to my downloads first, and then I can drag it into assets. And then I will rename it to icon.png. And then I'll create a new tab on cursor, and I will say, look at the documentation above and add the icon that I put into assets/icon.png as my icon for this app. Also make it my splash screen for this app, and just make my splash screen like whatever background color you want. And then I will do @/icon.png, and it shows up there. So I already said it's in assets/icon.png. That's all I really need to say, and then it should be done. Wow, it's crazy that this app
it's just insane. This is a mobile app that has social features, right? Like you can use it with friends.
Yeah.
That has external database, like external API usage that is genuinely useful and fun. And we created it in less than an hour.
Yeah. And there's so many more features you could add. You could add, your ability to select the movies that you swipe in,
but depending on how the review goes, this could literally be on the App Store.
In 24 hours.
Yeah, that's insane. This is so cool. Way more people should be creating apps on the App Store.
It's done. Now we can accept these changes. We can close the cursor chat, and we can make the terminal bigger. So this is the hardest part. but also the easiest part, depending on what you think. So I'll open a new terminal and I'll type Panax test flight.
Okay, so you've added the icon and the splash screen. It's just using the icon as a splash screen. Now we're opening the terminal and typing in some things.
Yeah, so it's asking need to install the following packages. Just click Y and I'll install the packages that it needs.
Okay, so now you're just kind of going through whatever test flight needs you to do, and you're just doing it through the terminal. And by the way, in the description, we're going to put like a little PDF or written instructions on everything that we talked about today, so that's super easy to follow, in case you miss anything, because there are a lot of steps to this.
So now it's asking me to log in to EAS with my email or username. So to make an account on EAS, you just go to expo.dev and then you make an account here. So you just sort of make that account. And I already have an account. And so I'm just going to enter my username and password. Okay, so it's asking me, would I like to automatically create a EAS project for Expo for Anshnanda/movie buddy? I'll type Y. It's creating it, and then it's linking the local project to the EAS project. And then it's asking me, what would you like your iOS identifier to be? .com Anshnanda/movie buddy sounds good. You do need a website. This is like in the reverse domain thing. You can also just make up anything here, but ideally it's like a website that you own in like the reverse domain. So I own anshnanda.com. So over here it's com.anshnanda.moviebuddy. But you can also use something if no one owns it. You don't need to buy a domain necessarily, but if someone owns it, they might have an app registered to that identifier. Yeah, so just, make sure you put that. And then iOS app only uses standard exempt encryption. Click yes for that. If you don't know what this is, you likely should just click yes. And then it says created the project. Do you want to log into your Apple account? I'll click yes. Enter your Apple developer account to continue. I'll type in my username and password. Okay, cool. So it's asking me to sign in. I'll click device and then I'll put 543-729. There we go. It's validating my code. I'll choose not number labs incorporated. Not number labs incorporated. Have a bunch of generate new Apple distribution certificate. Yes to both. And then would you like to set push notifications? I don't need push notifications for this project. So I'll click no. You can also click yes. But then Apple review will ask you why did you ask it if you don't need it. But yeah, that's it. It's done.
Wait, it's sent to Apple.
It's sent to Apple.
Okay, so it's sent to Apple, and a human at Apple is going to review it. And depending on how that review goes, it could be on the App Store.
Yeah, right now it's being built. So version's being built on EAS, which is like Expo's platform.
Which takes some time.
Which takes like anywhere from like 5 to 20 minutes.
And then
so it's asking for some more. Generate a new App Store Connect key. I'll say yes. It's like my submission progress. I can like open this and see what the progress is. I know it's queued. I can see the build. It started less than a minute ago, the first version. And yeah, it's just building. This will take a little bit of time, but it should be done. And it's super easy.
In theory, if you, let's say, get rejected by the App Store, could you just take what they said and paste it in a cursor and be like, hey, this is the problem. Can you fix that?
Yeah, you can. You can also paste it into vibe code. But yeah,
you paste it into vibe code and then you just do that until it gets accepted.
Yeah, for this app, I honestly probably don't even need to submit it to Apple. I feel like there are a lot of apps that you can use that you can just share with your friends or your family.
You shared it with me.
And like, there's no need for me to go through that review process. Now I can like make updates and like instantly share them.
Yeah. And then maybe the move, if you're trying to test it, is to like literally use it with your friends. And if everyone's like, oh my God, this is a sick app. Now you have a validated app idea. You could then go and get it in the App Store.
The only real reason to get it on the App Store is if you want to make money.
Right.
Otherwise,
no need.
There's no need.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to make money with this app, you want to sell it, then definitely get on the App Store.
And so in review, today we built an app using vibe code on our phone. Then once we felt like it was most of the way done, we got it most of the way done on vibe code. We used the new SSH feature, which allows you to sync the vibe code with the cursor code. And so when you make a change on cursor, it'll also update on vibe code. And then we added the what did we do on cursor?
So we added Firebase and Cursor, and we added the TMDB API.
We added the TMDB API, and then we put it on the App Store.
Yeah, all of those things you could also do on Vibecode, or you could do all of this in Cursor. Like there's no real difference. I think each have their strengths. Like for example, in my opinion, it's way easier to get started on a project in Vibecode because you don't have to set up the whole repository and all that stuff. You don't have to deal with a terminal. And then it's way easier to add like backend features in Cursor because Firebase.
Cursor, you need Cursor to get it on the actual App Store.
Yeah, to run this lost command, you need Cursor. So yeah,
that's basically. And you're probably somewhat technical if you're using Cursor a lot, and so it's good to get the option to just like, okay, you have one while you're like at a coffee shop, you can build an app with your voice, and then as soon as you get back, plug it into Cursor. Real-time sync gives you full optionality on what you want to use.
Yeah. So I can go in my builds, and 9 minutes later, or 7 minutes and 36 seconds later, this build is done. I can also go to the submissions tab, and I can see that this is now being submitted to App Store for review. And so this should be done in a few seconds as well. Then I can go to App Store Connect. And I'll be able to find this app.
Amazing. Okay, so in the actual Apple interface, which is App Store Connect, you'll be able to see the app that you created on Cursor in less than an hour.
Yeah. So I can click apps, and then it should pop up here. There we go. Movie Buddy. We're ready.
Let's go.
The build is still submitting, so it'll be done soon. But yeah, it should automatically submit to Test Flight. So you should find it on your phone if you download the Test Flight app. If you don't, you can come here, you can click team, and you can see your team, and then add people to your team to make sure that they get the app. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's on the App Store. It's less than an hour, and we started on Vibecode and went through Cursor, and this is Movie Buddy.
Now we have Movie Buddy and an app that we can both use at the same time, and we can swipe.
I left the room.
You left the room?
Yeah.
You left me alone. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the episode. Subscribe if you like videos like these, and we'll see you here for the next one.